you could, I don't know, I just really loved it. And it says, 3 choices in life: give up, give in, or give it all you got. So Google Calendar makes things simpler. It makes it easier not to give in. And I think if we schedule things, make them simple, put them in blocks of time, then we can give it all we got. So here we go. Let's do this. Okay, so here's an empty Google Calendar. And for those of you who use Google, you'll see right up here in the top left right-hand corner, the 9 boxes. And if you just go to Google Calendar, you'll be there, okay? It'll take you right to the screen. It might have you set something up. I don't think so, but anyway, so here's Google Calendar. You see you have the whole month over here on the left-hand side. You can go from month to month if you want, see different dates. But say you have a client and your client support time is going to be between 9 and noon, okay? So like this, okay? Maybe, so I just highlighted that. Now it's going to have me fill in what I'm going to do. So client support, okay? And then I go to edit event, and it's going to tell me, okay, so here it is, 9 to 12. Now, if I want to create a repeating event, I click where it says repeat here. And maybe I want to repeat that on, oh, oops, I made it on Sunday. Well, I don't want it to be Sunday. I want it to be Monday. So I'm going to make it on Monday and Wednesday, okay? And I'm going to do that weekly. See how it says weekly right here? There's also lots of other choices. Daily, monthly, and then you can also choose repeat every how many weeks. So if you only want to do it every 2 weeks, then put 2 weeks. If you want to do it every 6 weeks, put 6 weeks. Okay, but this is weekly on Mondays and Fridays between 9 and 12. I want this to be a repeating event. Okay, if you want to choose a color for your client support times, maybe you want to choose blue, and then hit save. Notice that now you have your client support times between 9 and 12, Monday and Wednesday, and it will show up every single week. Okay. You notice that these ones are kind of light compared to next week's, and that's because these ones are already passed. Okay. Okay, so now let's say you wanted to actually type in the client that you're going to call. So what I do is, do you see this tiny little space on the edge of that blue? I'll click there and it creates a new event. So I can just type in, I'm going to meet with Bill Waters, and then I always type in his number. If you have a smartphone, you can go to Google Calendar on your smartphone and it'll show you, the phone number will come up, and you can just click on it. I love that about my smartphone. I have a Samsung Galaxy 4. So anyway, once again, you're going to create a repeating event, a weekly check-in, right? And then I just go in here and I change the time, usually to 10-minute time frames. So you can do that, and then you can put in all my client calls are going to be green. Okay, so then if there's anything else you want to put, like you want to type in his address, okay, Fort Lauderdale. I like to put the entire address so that if I'm on my mobile device and I need to call client support, I can put it right in there. Okay, I can bring this right up and give them the address. They always want that identifying information. So, and then the description section is where I put notes. If I'm on my mobile device or I'm on the computer, I can put notes, oh boy. Suffering from a headache. Told to drink more water. Powerade. So whatever I told him, whatever I want to notate there. Going on vacation next week. Oh boy. That way next week I can, you know, I know to ask him, how was his vacation? Okay, so that's pretty simple. You can set reminders that will like pop up on your screen, but that's a bother to me, so I don't do that. And the other thing you can do is you can put in their email address. Little warning though, be careful about putting in their email address, because every time you change it in your system, it will send them an email. So I don't know if you don't want that, then, and I don't want them to have all my notes on them, so I don't put anything in there. So just hit save, and there's Bill Waters. He's showing up. So, so you know, you have all your people. I just go straight through them, and I don't tell people that I'm going to call them at 9 a.m. unless they need that specifically. I tell them I'll call you sometime between 9 and 12. If they're on the East Coast, since I'm, you know, closer to the West Coast, I try and put them, you know, earlier in the day. So, so that's how you set up an event. Now, say that Bill sends you a text message and says, "Can you call me on Wednesday?" So you can just click on his event right here, and you can drag it over to Wednesday. Okay. What that doesn't do is that doesn't permanently change him to Wednesday. You find that next week he's on Monday. He's back on Monday. So don't worry about that. You can change him over there, and that won't be a problem. But make sure that you don't permanently want him there. Otherwise, be sure and go in there, edit the event, and change him to, if you've moved it like that, then you actually can't change the repeating day, okay? And not on that event. But if you go to next week's and you wanted to change Bill, then you can edit the repeating event right here. Just click edit and change him to Wednesday instead. And now he will always show up on Wednesdays. Okay, so this asks you, do you want to change only this event or all the following events? Well, let's see, this and all the following events will be changed. So that's usually what I choose if I'm switching him to over there, okay? So when I set up a brand new client, I was explaining this the other day, but I will, usually I have them, you know, on some day, let's just pretend I have April Jensen, and I'm just pulling names out of the air. These aren't even people I know. So let's say I have April Jensen, and she is a prospect. All my prospects are bright blue, okay? And I'm going to call her between 1 and 2. Now, let's say that April Jensen decides to sign up. So what I'll do is I will click on her event, and I will estimate about how long I think her food is going to take to get to her. So maybe I did the order with her on the 14th, so maybe she'll have it on the 18th. So I'll move her event now to the 18th. Okay, I will make it early in the morning. Okay. And turn it to my new client color. So my new client color is purple. So now she is a new client, and you see her event shows up over here. The reason I did that early in the morning is so that I remember that I need to follow up with April and see if she received her food and schedule her pre-start call, okay? So then once I schedule her pre-start call, then I'll move her to, you know, whatever time she needs. Maybe she needs 4 p.m. today. Just scroll down to 4 p.m. And certainly not an hour, right? So maybe 4:15, I'm going to create her event. Okay, so now you see that she shows up at 4:15 p.m. Okay, now once I complete her pre-start call, I will go back in here again. Okay, so let's say she's going to start the program tomorrow. So now I'm going to create a repeating event. Okay, and I just move them along. I don't necessarily leave them there and create something new. but just create a repeating event. Excuse me. Okay, so now I want to follow up with her for the next few days. So I'm going to check Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay. And maybe, you know, she wants to stay at that 2 o'clock time. So, so I will just, actually, you know what, let me change this. So I'm going to change this to daily, and I'm going to do it daily for 3 days. Okay. And I'm going to have it end after 3 occurrences. Okay. So that means that after 3 days, this event's not going to show up anymore. Okay, this is usually how I do it, a daily event for 3 days. Otherwise, that repeating event is going to show up in your calendar every week for the rest of your life on all those days. Okay, so now I'm going to change it to this. Okay, so now we have April's going to show up. Uh-oh, what happened? Okay, it's not always perfect. Let's try again. Edit event. Oh, every 3 days. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so I wanted it every 1 day, 3 occurrences. Okay, so now let's see what happens. All the following events. Now she's going to show up for the next 3 days. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Okay, now we finished her 3rd day call, and she feels like she's doing good until her check-in day. She decides that she wants to have her check-in day on Wednesday morning. So now I'm going to go into April's event again. I'm going to edit that. Okay, edit. And instead of daily now, I'm going to go to weekly. Okay, so weekly on Wednesday, not Saturday. And I'm going to put never, because I don't know when she's going to be done with the program. I want it to remind me forever until we change that. So Wednesdays, starting on the 18th, if you need to change that, you can. And then just hit done and save. Okay, all following events. So now April, oops, oh, I don't want her in the middle of the afternoon. So now I'm going to make it 10 a.m. Okay, because that's my client support time. And there's April at 10 a.m. And you can see that in the following weeks, she still shows up there. Okay. Now, one of the things that Take Shape for Life always recommends is that if we have things that are going on with our families or other things in our lives, that we make sure that we schedule those things in. So maybe, you know, I like to protect my time when my kids are first coming home from school. So between 3:30 and 5 most days, I don't do any client support or anything. So, you know, I'll put that in their kid time. I know that's my homework time, you know, and so, you know, maybe I'll put all my time with my children in red. And I know that that's a time that I don't schedule anything else. And I think it's really important that we do that. So, of course, that's going to be a daily event. And so that shows up as such. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else that you might want to see me do on here. Oh, you can schedule an event that's, let's say, in your future. Let's say you're going to convention. Okay, so so July 18th, right? Okay, so let's say you're gonna July 17th. So convention starts, I think, July 17th. Anyway, you check and make sure it's right before you put yours in. But you can start at any time of the day, create the event. Okay, edit. So I'm going to put in convention. And I'm going to put, it starts the 17th at 6 a.m. And it goes through I'll be back on the 20th. Okay, so watch how this shows up. I'm going to put, you know, this is a business event. All my business stuff is in blue, light blue. So, so I'm just going to hit save, and notice that it's going to block out not the whole day, but it's just going to show you at the top of your screen that you have something that's lasting multiple days. Okay, so that's a really, it's a really helpful thing to be able to have that. So notice that like on your client support, if you typed in the location, you know, I'm just going to type a bunch of stuff, that if you have a large space, oh, it didn't happen. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's up here. So you put in a phone number and an address, and you put in, you know, the 3 people that you're supposed to meet, and you save it. Then it's all going to apply. It's all going to appear there. Okay. So if you want the client's phone number and the address where you're going, and you want to be able to get on your mobile device, I'm going to show you my Google Calendar on my mobile device. I'm going to stop sharing this screen and show you this on my phone.